Hi Tiana, how are you today?
Very well, thank you. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. Thanks for asking.
You're welcome.
So my name is Chloe and I'm going to be interviewing you about your sports-induced anxiety. Are you ready to begin?
Yep.
Alright, so first things first, when was a time that you suffered sports-induced anxiety?
It was last year prior to my soccer grand final. We had finished second place and managed to make it all the way to the grand final, and it put a lot of pressure on us to perform really well.
Okay. Alright, so what do you think caused it?
I think it's because we had managed to beat Tukli in the semi-finals, but they had remained undefeated during the pools throughout the whole year.
Right.
Yeah. So they also had a large abundance of supporters.
Yeah, that would definitely be a thing in the back of your head.
Yeah, well, because they're a larger club as well. So
right.
Yeah, and also my friends were there as well, watching me play for the first time, and I think it just was putting a lot of pressure on me to perform really well.
Okay. Do you think there were other contributing factors? So have you previously been injured? Were you sick? Did you have a bad sleep the night before? Anything like that?
I was sick because I remember not being able to breathe and coughing heaps on the field. And I also had my ankles are also really they're really weak because I had partially torn them before. So yeah, it's like a reoccurring injury that happens a lot.
Okay, and why do you think the pressure of having to beat the team contributed to your sports-induced anxiety? Was it your coach? Was it your club? Was it...
Just probably to be able to perform well, I guess.
Okay.
It was just pressure because, you want to win, you beat them in the semis, and you just want to keep pushing through, after losing to them twice before.
Oh, in a grand final?
Yeah.
So it would have been like a confidence booster.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. Do you find your sports-induced anxiety differs in certain situations, such as grand finals versus a normal pool game?
Yes and no. Normally it only occurs when the stakes are really high in the game.
Okay.
Yeah.
So a game with high stakes is when you feel sports-induced anxiety the most?
No, if it's a close game, if they're a tough game, team to, beat, or it's, a game that we have to win, stuff like that.
Okay, right.
Yeah, but, normally I can keep it cool enough to push through the game, in regular ones, just a normal pool game, but
okay.
I'm only put under a slight amount of stress.
Right, okay.
Yeah, and in the grand final my anxiety levels were really high.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Overall, speaking of anxiety differing, how would you rate your sports-induced anxiety on a scale of 1 to 10 overall?
Normally I'd say around a 7.
Around a 7?
Yep.
So when you're experiencing anxiety that is at that 7 out of 10 level, what's running through your head at that moment?
A lot of just all different kinds of emotions and things that can go wrong, and if I'm letting my teammates down, if my friends are judging me, the way I play.
Okay.
It's a lot of self-doubt, and it just builds up and adds up to my anxiety.
Okay, so when you say things that can go wrong, what do you mean?
Oh, just not being able to pass the ball correctly, not timing things, letting attackers through the last line of defense, and they score a goal.
Right.
And have that reoccurring all the time.
Yeah. So when you say you let an attacker through, would you say that you feel as though your teammates judge you?
Yeah, definitely. Because it's a team effort, and if you let one thing slip over and over because of your anxiety, it sort of puts a lot of pressure on them, and they get really frustrated and will get snappy, and arguments start within the team, and yeah, I get so nervous and like anxious because I feel like I'm failing my team.
Okay, so when you say they get all snappy at each other, do you feel that your individual anxiety is a hindrance to the team as a whole?
Definitely sometimes, you know, just it's normal to sort of feel that way, but sometimes it's sort of you got to step back and think, oh, okay, they're not angry at me. It's just heat of the moment.
Yeah. Okay, that's fair enough. So would you say that your sports-induced anxiety impacts your performance in a positive or a negative way?
More towards the negative side.
More towards negative.
Mm-hmm.
Can you remember a time when it impacted your performance positively?
Just sort of. Not really. Just if it's always normal to have a good amount of nerves.
Yeah, fear, arousal, and everything.
Yeah, but other than that, it's always, if it gets too high, it's always negative. Like I always feel like I just play bad.
So when you say that you feel negative, does it decrease your confidence and your self-esteem and your ability?
Yeah, definitely. It just you feel like you're not thinking clearly, and you sort of make silly mistakes and not correctly timing passes and not correctly tackling, and it just everything that you do just builds up, and yeah, it's not great.
So you reckon that relates back to what you said before about the hindrance of the team,
Yeah,
the whole team
definitely.
as a whole?
Yeah,
Alright.
100%.
So with that note, in trying to tame them, do you have any relaxation techniques?
One thing I like to do before game, like on the way there in the car, is like listen to pump up music.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So like hip hop, rock type genres.
Yeah, definitely. That's just sort of you sort of live in the moment, forget about everything that's going on. You forget about like what can go wrong in a game. You sort of just having fun.
Yeah. So you kind of feel like it's taking you away from what you're about to do.
Yeah, definitely. Like you just release your stress.
Right. And how does it make you feel?
A lot better. You just stress less. Happy endorphins pump through, and it's pretty good. Just try and calm down a little less than what you normally would be at.
Alright. So as compared to not listening to music and listening to music, you feel a lot better when you listen to music.
Yeah, that's
good
definitely a very, very good coping strategy of mine.
Do you reckon there's any other factors that can contribute to relaxing you before a game?
Definitely when the coach and like teammates give positive advice, feedback before the game. It's always very uplifting and can release stress on your shoulders.
Yeah, definitely. Alright, so you feel like against the team that you were versing in the grand final, you felt like you had to beat them because you had already beaten them before. So there was a bit of a cloud around you saying we have to beat them.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And you were sick as well, and you had previously injured yourself, so that would obviously be playing on your anxiety as well.
Yes, yep.
So you would rate your anxiety a 7 out of 10, you said?
Yep, definitely. Like all around.
Yep, and thinking about the things that can go wrong definitely contributes to that number.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, so also your individual anxiety can hinder the performance of the team.
Yeah.
So they get all snappy at each other, you
yeah,
said?
and mean.
Yeah. So your sports-induced anxiety is a hindrance to your performance and not a help, because you can't think anything good of yourself and you just have really low confidence.
Yeah.
And you use music for a relaxation technique.
Yeah.
And it makes you feel better when your coach acknowledges everyone as a team and tells them that you can do it.
Yep, definitely.
Alright, well, thank you for letting me interview you today, and I hope you can combat your sports-induced anxiety in the future.
Thanks, Chloe.
No worries, Tiana. Have a good day.